Ahoy there, library fans. How you doing? It's the end of the semester and I'm feeling a little punchy. For a communication class, I made a lot of videos showing ideas. Actually, like this week, I made a lot of videos. So I'm going to give you the same style of introduction and see if we can't negotiate. I don't know if I have the answer, but I think I have some different directions for you to try. First one that I've been showing comm students is I've been trying to be egalitarian and get on board with the new AI stuff. Have you ever heard of BARD? BARD is something that sifts through a lot of internet, but a lot of scholarship too, and you can ask it questions. So I'm going to ask it the question, what issues affected changes in human resources management during the pandemic? So not after the pandemic, but during. And this will just kind of systematically goes through with an algorithm and looks for stuff that bubbles up to the top. So these are some things that you might use in keywords, and I'll go back to this. But if you wanted to look at any of these, I mean, for me, this was, as a manager, this was my big one. And all the other ones didn't matter as much. But for librarians, remote work is really easy. So be that as it may, let's segue into, and you could ask BARD any question, like what's a good recipe for sorbets, or what I asked the other day. Surprisingly, there's only like 3 ingredients. So when you go to the library to do a general search, the advanced catalog search is where you want to go. By the way, if you're off campus, make sure and log in there, or CIS. From the advanced catalog search, you can do a concept and then another concept. I've already preloaded one. It's like a cooking show. So I did human resources in quotes because we want the 2 keywords to stick together, or HR as it's commonly known. The important thing that I discovered is if you look up human resources or HR, there's about, I would say, 75 to 150 million things that the catalog looks at. It kind of gets buried in ambiguity. So what I did is I made sure that it was in the title of what we're looking for. That means it has to be the most important thing. Or if you're looking at it from social sciences, it's the population being studied, HR managers or things like that. The next one, any field I did, so instead of just the title, I was just like, well, I don't know what this is called. So COVID or lockdown or telecommuting, or return to work, teleworking, return to office, or pandemic. I didn't know which one it was going to be called because so many terms have been tossed around. And then, let me show you a couple things. So if you're looking for scholarship specifically, I would recommend, so there's 2,000 results. A couple things I'd recommend. One is go down to the date. Is there a date range you're looking for? So I don't want 1991. So our pandemic shutdown started lockdown in 2020, but a lot of people weren't like instantly scholarlyizing it or reflecting on it. They were kind of in it. So I would say maybe 2021 is better. I don't know, you get to decide. 20 or 1991, definitely off. And then future ready human resources. It's such an HR term, future ready. Sorry. What you can do for scholarship is look at, just to brainstorm topics, look at peer-reviewed journals. There's scholarly journals that might not be peer-reviewed, but the peer-reviewed definitely means it's a scholarly journal. This will help us get out of the weeds. And then you can see there's only there's 507. That can be there's only or there's too many. But what you can do is look through, and is there one that looks good to you, that's on topic? So you might have like a cup of coffee and go through a few pages of these, because these are prioritized by who knows what algorithm. It's not a smart search though. You could look at that. The second thing you can do is you can go through these subject terms. The subject terms are things put together by the authors to say these are one of the most important things in the article. So you can see obviously COVID-19, but maybe you're looking at management, maybe you're looking at industrial relations, so dealing with people. I mean, that's kind of what HR does though. Workforce, oh, humans, that narrows it down. So some of these might not be helpful. Another thing you can do, Oh, by the way, if you're in this search and it's smushed, you can unsmush it this way. What I'd recommend is if this gets you close to what you're looking for, add a new line and add that specificity. So I'm going to look at, I'm going to do mental health or well-being. This is not cheating because I'm not citing Bard. I'm just using their keywords. So I have to put mental health in quotes, otherwise it's going to look for mental here and health there. And I want to change this to an or, otherwise it's going to get choked on it. I'm going to get rid of the hyphen because that's problematic. So if I add this, what's going to happen? So we have 507. I'll have to do that date range narrowing again. Just for fun, I'll just do peer reviewed. And I'll just have to be aware of the dates. Hello. All of a sudden, adding those keywords promotes those things and eliminates things that don't have that altogether. So these are the ways that I would recommend, but you're going to have to cruise through some of the titles and look for ones that look good. Having said that, if you do find one, oh, burnout. This was a big issue in the library because everyone wanted to be like this superhero and do everything for everyone, and then all of a sudden they forgot to take care of themselves. Self-care might be another one. So if I was like, oh, this is it, when you click on this article, look at the words that they use to describe, and they'll have like, oh Lord, this is way too many keywords. Usually the authors for an article are supposed to supply like 5. I don't know what's going on with that one. But you can cruise through the abstract. You can also email yourself a link to the article. There's a citation generator, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, once you start finding the keywords, let me close this. Once you start finding the keywords that you really like, then you can start testing them in more focused databases. The ones that I recommend, are you interested in the business side of HR? So HR typically runs on like the nonprofit or the for-profit sector. If you want to go to the for-profit sector, you can go to business databases. This is a great database that has an advanced search that you could plug in the exact same keywords. And you can add a line too, right here, if you wanted to do that. Another database that I would highly recommend is under sociology. Sociology is it's full of a lot of case studies about like what occurred in different societies or cultures, maybe profit, nonprofit. I've loved this database maybe since I was born. Just kidding. There was no such thing as this when I was born. We were writing on cuneiform mud patties and then firing them. This one you can add a row. And again, you can do that where you narrow down to the title if there's something you want to look for. Let me know. Oh, also, I was about to say, let me know if there's something I can help you with. Are you interested in a particular discipline? Are you on the health side of things or whatever? You can add that keyword, or you can go into specific disciplines. So for example, there's like medicine. Nursing is really awesome because I think nursing faculty and staff during the pandemic were wildly overloaded, and there was a great incidence of burnout, but that's just my interest in the burnout side. So whatever you're interested in looking at, let me know if I can help you further, but this should be enough to get you in trouble. Thank you.